Narcissism is just one version of something that's called antisocial personality disorder. And underneath the umbrella of antisocial personality disorder is narcissism and socialism, or psychopathy and sociopathy, right? Or sociopathy. So you got these different categories that we use to describe people who are essentially just antisocial to a level that is considered to be a disorder. Well, here's the truth of it. We're all fucking antisocial. Nobody likes people. We like some people. We like the people who like us, and we like the people who think like us and like our music and like our food, but nobody likes a stranger until the stranger proves that they have something in common with the person, right? It's against our very core survival instinct. We don't trust new people. We don't like new people. So what happens is some of us are kind of grown in our formative years in an environment where we learn to trust secrets and lies more than we learn to trust the people around us. Well, now, if you advance that life into their early 20s and early 30s, some people are able to remain protective, self-preservational, without creating a disorder that puts them at the center of their world. They still have loyalties and obligations and personal values. A narcissist goes too far. A narcissist has been damaged psychologically to the point where they truly believe they are the center of their universe and they cannot identify their own shortfalls. Whereas somebody who just doesn't fit into society, right? A sociopath still has loyalties and values, and they value their church, possibly. They value their family. They value their education. They value something more than themselves, but they still break the rules of society. All of that psychological battery that CIA puts us through, it's not to find the smartest person. It's to find the few people who are already wired with just the right cocktail of fucked upness and loyalty, obligation, and yet still seeking validation from outside. Because once you find that person, boom, they will do anything for $25,000 bonus every year.
That's very helpful. My question is, are all CIA operatives of this category similar in that sense? Like, can you say, oh, this one might come from a, white upper class family in Connecticut, and this person might come from the streets of, Echo Park or whatever. But is this generally what the profile is? And is that the best way to get the job done? Or is it the best way for the government to be able to control such people?
It's a great two-part question. So I'll answer the first question first, and then the second part second, right? Yes, it is a profile that is predictable among CIA field officers. Now, CIA has field officers, analysts, linguists, logisticians. It's got lots of different operators. But when you're talking about what we call a core collector is a person who goes out there and their job is to collect information direct from human sources. A core collector has to be skilled at lying, has to be skilled at manipulation, has to be able to keep multiple lying and manipulating relationships in order simultaneously, right? That person absolutely fits the profile that we just laid out, Em, right? That whether they grew up in a white privileged neighborhood or an inner city African-American neighborhood, it's not about their socioeconomic status. It's about the psychological imprint that happened to them when they were young. Did they feel like daddy loved them, or was daddy always gone, getting on a coke high because he ran a hedge fund? Or daddy was never there because he was gangbanging? Who knows, right? We don't know why daddy wasn't there, but the kid certainly feels like he didn't earn dad's love. And now he has to try extra hard to earn that external validation. So that's the answer to your first question. The second part is that the best way? I would say that the government doesn't try to think about what the best way is. They try to think about what is the most pragmatic way. So when it comes to having to constantly recruit new officers, new operatives, and bring them up to a basic level of capability before you deploy them all over the world, where some will get killed, some will get captured, some will be spectacular at their job, right? The government doesn't want to spend 5 years creating super soldiers. But the government also doesn't want to spend 3 weeks putting somebody through basic police training, right? So they find this natural balance where in about 9 months, they can take a person off the street and train them to a basic capability for intelligence core collection. But that 9-month window only happens if they pull from the profile that you and I just talked about. If they went to a different profile, it might take 13 months or 18 months. If they pulled from a more violent profile, it might take 6 months or 4 months. But they've found this balance over time.
I've seen those movies too. Here's a question. Does the government know that you're telling people all of the things that you're telling us?
Yes, the government knows, and they have a mixed reaction to it. Sometimes I get pats on the back. Sometimes I get hate mail. Sometimes I get these reminders in my inbox that say, just a reminder from CIA's Friendly Office of Personnel that you have a lifetime secrecy agreement and you will be prosecuted under the full confines of the law if we find that you violate your secrecy agreement. So that's why I don't tell secrets. I just tell facts.
Some. Can we talk around secrets?
I mean, I'm comfortable with lying. I'll just tell you something's a secret if you like.
Oh, for Pete's sake. How am I supposed to talk to you at all? You could be lying about everything.